Hello and welcome to Indie Advocates Presents Kickstarter Talk. We are going to be talking with Chuck, who's going to be joining us for Kickstarter Talk. It's a special day. We have the Advocator going. Chuck is going to hang out with me for a little bit, check out some Kickstarters, kind of throw in the different talk about the different Advocator things that we have going on. It's an exciting day here for all of us. And I am Mr. Anderson, known as the Indie Devil. I'm going to be here to tempt you with some Kickstarters. You can hear Chuck in the background. He's already joined us. So, we're going to get right into it and start with our first Kickstarter, which is the Advocator. And at the end of the video, we'll get Chuck's feelings on the videos because he's our special guest tonight. So this is Kickstarter Talk coming to you live. The Advocator presents this week's featured story, Grimwood Crossings. Grimwood Crossings follows monster hunters in the Wild West. In this short story, they hunt down the ghost of a witch that has been haunting the trail into the town. Also featured in the Winter Advocator is Welcome to the Void Point 5, not broke down yet, Mary Revised, Modern Testament's new reimagined take on Noah and his Ark, Grimwood's Crossing Short, which we just mentioned, and Binary Stars Intergalactic Bar Fight. We appreciate you guys supporting us and want you to know what the Advocator is all about. The Advocator presents as a collection of short stories from indie creators who have their own pre-established franchises now offering continued short stories of the characters that you have fallen in love with and may even get some insight to these characters. So some of our creators featured in this volume that you're already a fan of, you get a new short story that you have never seen before. The Advocator presents as a new way to advocate for creators and their creations by allowing and challenging them to create new stories within their worlds and then advocate for each other on the Comic-Con highway. A great benefit of this project is that all creators are all equal in this project, and all creators will get an even share of the printed books. No one creator shall profit over the other creators outside the hustle of sales at their tables on the Comic-Con highway. All right, Chuck. What did you think of that? You got to take yourself off mute. Chuck,
crap, there I am.
Yeah. So what do you think of the Indie Advocator? Of course, you're part of the project, so you're going to be biased, as you should be. But let us know what you think of the Advocator, and why should people back this project?
So here's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try something that we have to do as editors now and then, and that is you have to look at a project as a fan and not as someone who's attached to it. So if I were to look from the outside in, and I would look at this, I would first off be excited by the fact that we have all these different franchises that I get my chance to learn about all these different ongoing series, which I'm a big fan of ongoing series that just I feel like it's easier to get attached and excited if I know that it's going to continue on. So that immediately is something that I would respond to. Also, the idea that greed is taken out of it. The fact that none of us see money. All we see is actual printed issues. And that's a big deal because there's so much, I mean, we all want a head up. We all want our piece of the pie and all that. And so the fact that greed was taken out as a factor would be a big deal to me too. So even from the outside looking in, I think this is a really cool project. And I would love to see this as a normal thing. I really, even if it turns out that it was tough to do every season, even being able to do it bi-yearly or something. But I think this is massively needed.
Well, I mean, with people who have shown interest in it, I don't think that this is even close to going away. I actually think this proved our point. I think that our biggest struggle with this was more price points than anything else, and not adding in a few extras that we will have. Like one of the things that we talked about for the second campaign is having T-shirts built in. We wanted to prove that we could do it without greed involved. The second issue, of course, we'll know some things and we'll have a little more trust for what we did because of the first issue, and we'll be adding in T-shirts and stuff like that. So I think that this project's only going to get bigger and bigger as it goes. For those in the chat room, now on Kickstarter, we can go through all the videos very quickly. And then we'll address all the people in the chat room at the end when we've looked at every video. So keep making your comments. We promise we'll get to them at the very end of the show. Right, Chuck?
Yes.
And now, have you seen Cornrows? Is this your first time?
I know I backed it.
All right, so we're going to hear what Chuck thinks of it right after the video. All right, Chuck, hit me with what you thought of that.
Well, first off, I mean, you have me right away at urban fantasy. That's my shit. I love fantasy and any form of it. So that had me really excited. Another one is Brian Hawkins, who is a really excellent writer. I love what he does. So that's another plus to me. He's someone that I kind of look up to and would love to kind of use him as a bar to kind of continue my movement upwards as a writer, a publisher, all that kind of stuff. The only negative thing I would say is I don't get the name. The name it seems to kind of have a bit of a disconnect as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the main character doesn't even look like he has cornrows. So I'm not sure what that is or you know, what the importance of that name. And I guess maybe you'll have to read it. But that would be my only negative about it, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Well, maybe you can explain. That's definitely something that we could ask the creator at one point. And hopefully when you back it, you'll get your answer quickly.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next amazing thing. Should we watch this video? I feel like we've talked about it so much.
What are they? They already funded. Who gives a shit?
Right? It's that piano music. No, kidding around aside, this is Travis Gibbs. Congratulations to Travis. He funded today, worked really hard to get funded. Did a great hustle. If you want to see indie hustle, Travis Gibbs the guy to watch, man. He got this to happen. Check out Dog Days. But I do hate the piano.
Welcome to the Dog Days Kickstarter, a crime noir tale that follows a pair of canine detectives embroiled in a cult's attempt to murder and skin its citizen. Meet Barnabas, brand new on the job and willing to help, and a crime too big and too sinister for him to handle. Meet Wolf, a hard-beat detective who's been on the job for a long time, not excited about Barnabas on the case, and she has her own problems with her litter of pups on the way. Animals being skinned alive, taken somewhere sinister, as we explore into the dark noir world of Dog Days. With Dog Days, we have some amazing pledge levels that we want to get you connected to. Here's just a few. For just $10, you can get the digital PDF of Dog Days. Just $20, you can get the graphic novel in print, all 120 pages shipped to you. For those who love the bad guys, we have an exclusive Kickstarter cover called the Butcher Edition. If you want to be in Dog Days, now is your chance. Have a cameo in Dog Days as your favorite pet or as yourself, as whatever animal you want. Hurry now, pledge today, before it's too late.
All right. I know you worked on this, but do that cool fan thing you were talking about a few minutes ago. Do that.
Oh, checking it from the outside in?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So from the outside in, from what I removing what I do know about it, I'm not normally into the anthropomorphic animals, but this is a really badass take on it, and it's crime noir, which is that's Travis's bread and butter. Like that's what he does. So you're already getting him at his best in a different format. It's also something else I would look at as a fan is that this is for Evolution Publishing, and this is his first shot with them. And knowing Travis, just I mean, again, it's from the outside looking in, so just knowing that Travis is still trying to make his moves and all that, you know that he's going to take this super seriously, and that he's going to use this as a stepping block. So this is a big thing he's going to go big on. So I would be really excited on all of it for that reason. As someone who is the editor of it and is working on it, I will say that it is all of that and so much fucking more that sadly we can't even discuss. All I can tell you is that it goes to places that you guys will not expect. And I know that when that book is finally done, you'll be like, whoa, holy shit, I bought one thing, but you guys gave us so much more.
What was it, about 24 hours ago? It was $1,000 till he funded.
Yeah, I think. Well, actually, 24 hours ago, it was about $700 or $800 off. Yeah,
and he's already funded. So a lot of credit there. And you've seen Tainted, right? Because I know you do the news.
Yeah. Before we get to Tainted, though, I do still want to make fun of one more thing for Dog Days, because now that he's funded, we can have some fun with him. How fake ass is that badass voice of his in the video? Where he's like, "This is Dog Days, and it is so dark and bad." I'm just like, dude, you're trying really hard. I love you.
Does it seem like he's trying to maybe have a voice like someone we know?
Maybe that's his media voice.
I don't know. It sounded like he was trying to make himself sound like someone else who does a lot of these videos. But let's move on to the next Tainted comic book, and this is actually the name of it. It's not Tainted. It's actually named Tainted. Let's check it out. So we can't play the music in this. The creator did have credit for Sick Puppies, so Chuck can talk throughout the video this time and give his opinion live as he watches. Okay. Because we can't play the music. This is not our choice. The creator did have permission for this, but his permission doesn't always necessarily guarantee us permission.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, no, I'm just watching. So I don't think I've ever watched this video before. This is Dean Kish out of Calgary, right? Out of Canada?
Yeah, it's your boy from Canada.
Yeah. First off, I love that art. That's some like beautiful, solid, almost like American manga art. So already I'm checking it out. Deep inside there is a dark secret. It would never change. It would change your life forever. It would just take trauma to unlock it. Dude, I mean, sorry, I'm just, no, this is, yeah, again, like the art is gorgeous. I'm really, and sadly, I'm sure they're talking over it right now and we can't hear any what they're trying to say.
The whole video is just music. I did tell Dean he should have put a voiceover. Yeah. I even offered my services if he needed it. Because, I do have a good voice for this type of stuff. Everyone's always told me my whole life I have the looks and the voice for radio.
Well, and but I think the other thing is that I always tell people it's really like some people just don't have that voice, but it's important to show the personal, because what people forget is that this isn't just a place to sell. You're selling the project. You're selling yourself. So I think it's important for you to put a piece of yourself in there and not just the story, because your passion for why you're doing it is so important. I don't want to just buy a good book. I can buy any good book. I want to buy a good book for a reason. Oh, excuse me. She will become the seer, the first seer in 75 years. Again, this is more fantasy style kickassery, and it's 1 of 5, so that gets me excited too, because I know that it has a beginning, middle, and an end. I know that I'm getting on the ground floor of something, so that's really exciting too. I like seeing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, I think this looks pretty badass.
And let me tell you, such a thing for goth girls. I absolutely love the outfits and the style of how they dress. So this book had me at that. I just backed it instantly. I was so excited. Speaking of being so excited, I'm so excited about Soul Pact. We can't show the video because they do use copyrighted stuff. And unlike our friend Dean Kish, they didn't. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think Soul Pack had a video, actually. I think Soul Pack is the one without a video. I don't want to misrepresent something. Let me see. I think that he didn't do a video for this one. I think I'm mixing it up with another
well, this is from Evolution.
Yeah,
this
they don't have
Marcel Dupree's project.
Yeah. Okay, so they don't have a video, so I was wrong about the copyright music, so I apologize for that.
And I believe this one is about what they call a blurred. And yes, I just found out about that too. It's a black nerd, basically. And she basically sells her soul. I'm not 100% sure why. But the one thing I can always tell you about Marcel's stuff is that he always is getting the absolute best out of his art department as possible.
I also don't think that she sold her soul. I think she says that Nia allows her soul to be taken over by a demon. So I don't think she actually sold it. I think there's a reason for it that doesn't actually cost her soul. She's teaming up with a demon, it seems like.
Oh, okay.
So that's a little cooler, I think. But we're going to move on because we're supposed to be giving every one of these 60 seconds, but we gave some extra because, of course, these are all ending soon. We're at the point where now everyone's going to get about 60 seconds if the spinning wheel of death ever finishes. But while the spinning wheel of death is going on, let's talk about the Sisterhood sketch cover for artists and fans. That is a limited edition that's going on. That's till the 10th. And also we have the Make 100 Guinevere, but she does have a video. So we're going to check out for the first time ever. This is from Joseph Duas. By the way, if you back Joseph Duas's Kickstarter and the Avocator, you get the cover that you're about to see. Have you seen this yet, Chuck? Is this new to you?
Yeah, actually, this woman did a cover for Belial as well, or she did some art for Belial as well. I believe her name is Donna Anita Black out of the UK, and she did some work for Belial that's coming in February. So, bam.
All right, so we're going to get 60 seconds. We're going to put up our official timer. 60 seconds has begun.
Look at that beautiful
creator of Two-Eyed Tales. Thanks for checking out the project. It's a collection of 4 black and white horror comics, 48 pages. The first one is called Cat and Mouse. It's a story of a couple of Japanese teenagers who get really drunk, and when they wake up, they find themselves in this village that they don't recognize, so they become contestants on an extreme game show so they can get home. It was inspired by extreme Japanese game shows. The second story is called Once Upon a Horn. It's about a spoiled princess who asks for a unicorn for her birthday and how they try to tame the unicorn. The third story is called Death's Head, which is the first time we published this one. It's the story of an exterminator who wipes out a colony of Death's Head hawk moths that are stealing honey from bees. And then he gets one in his car when he's driving on his way home. It was inspired by me driving to pick my kid.
All right, now, Chuck, usually I leave it up to the people in the chat room to tell me if they want to finish seeing the video. But since you're our guest rules, do you want to see the rest of this video?
It's Joseph, dude. I always want to see more. I want to get – if you guys don't know Joseph Duas, he actually works for the DOD. This guy has been through all sorts of crazy, interesting stuff. And – everything he does is heady, and he's looking at stuff from a really psychological point of view. And if you guys have read any of my stuff, that's my forte. That's the kind of shit that I enjoy too. So hearing this guy speak, as much as maybe, Joseph and an awful lot of creators don't necessarily have that incredibly passionate voice, such as maybe myself and Rob do, what he has to say, though, is really cool. So I would give him another 60 seconds as well, and at least listen to what he has to say about the rest of those projects.
All right. For the record, I also have a sexy voice for those listening at home.
I did mention you.
And be there at a certain time. After I left work, and I found there was a butterfly moth in the car with me, and I couldn't stop because I didn't have time. I was trying to get it out of me as I was going down the interstate. Get it out of the car as I was going down the interstate. The last story is called Bless the Children. It's a story of a guy who's the last survivor of a failed westward settlement. on the mountain after a rescue party has become trapped, and he finds a village that's only inhabited by one woman, and they start seeing children around everywhere that are completely silent. So, as you saw earlier, this comic is a manga-sized comic. That's why we're able to mail it anywhere in the world for the same price as for domestic shipping. So if you want to get this, or also the limited edition cover version, domestic and international shipping are included, and those are worth tiers.
That's good.
So thank you for checking out the project, and I'll show you some art from the book.
All right. All right, so we let Joe talk. Wow, there's definitely some art. I'm going to quickly fast forward because we do want to keep this. We've been on an extremely long time today for KICKSTARTER Talk, so I'm just going to fast forward through some stuff.
Well, and you know what? Actually, check out the art and stuff because I love his artist. But I will say, since, you know, so much of what we're doing is talking about the Advocator, I will advocate for him real quick. And that is that I have read 3 out of 4 of those stories. I haven't read Death's Head because it hasn't been released yet. I read Cat and Mouse, not a manga guy, but I like, you know, again, I love where his head's at. It's got a real, like, Running Man kind of feel to it. I was actually, my first anthology, the first story I was ever published in, I had a piece in there, and this unicorn story was in there as well with Gregory Warrenchak and Joseph Dewis, and it's a fun little, it comes up, you look at it and you're like, oh, that's a cute little story about a unicorn. Oh man, it gets a little rough at the end, actually. It's a good one. And then of course you have Bless the Children, and guys, I'll tell you, you've never read anything like Bless the Children, and Bless the Children in my mind is Joseph at his absolute best. It's what he does best. Joseph loves history, and he loves taking history and anything psychological, spinning it on its head and playing with it. And man, Bless the Children was just, it's such a come out of nowhere book. It has not gotten near the love it deserves. I love that fucking book. And if you get a chance to check those stories out, seriously, I would hop on and grab them, especially if you like anything that makes you think.
All right. Let's make 100 Guinevere and the Divinity Factor. Come on. Come on, KICKSTARTER.
I'm writer and creator Preston Poulter, the one who brought you White Lily, the story of the 2 deadliest female fighter pilots in history. And judging by the reaction I get from fans at the comic shows I do, my next story is going to be even bigger. Guinevere and the Divinity Factory. Our story opens with Guinevere, who's an apprentice wizard entering a palatial estate. There's a massive flapper party going on, but she's not here for the party. She's here to meet the patron wizard, the master of the house, Francis Gatz. Imagine combining Harry Potter and the Great Gatsby, and you get an idea of the world that results in Guinevere and the Divinity Factory. To help bring this story to life, I commissioned Juliet Kita, whose likeness I used for the character of Guinevere, together with her husband Nathan, in order to act out the 2 lead roles in the opening scene of the comic book, set to the music of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy and a music video. We have some wonderful perks for people who back our crowdfunding campaign. We've got the comic book, we've got the music video, we've got fantastic art. I've commissioned a variant cover. Beautiful. It's only...
Okay, we're going to kick off because that's a minute.
Yep.
Did you notice the BDSM in it? I just wanted to say.
I did.
Are we going to have the video taken down because of it? Remember you're saying certain words become bad? Apparently fetish is one of them.
Certain words become bad, and also they use some music from Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, which is copyrighted.
I don't know why that hasn't hit us, but it actually hasn't. Somehow, like, I guess because it's so old, the computer doesn't pick it up.
Nobody gives a shit about it. That's why.
Yeah, like it never once got tapped. Maybe it's not even copyrighted anymore. Maybe it did lapse.
No, I don't, because I think that came out in like the '90s. So no, I don't think it's lapsed yet. That's when like swing kind of came back again in the '90s with like all those other bands. But that one looks really cool. Again, outside looking in, because I have no part of doing that. It's got a real Great Gatsby meets fantasy kind of feel to it, even like demons and shit. And that one looks really badass, man. It looks cool.
Yeah. Do I really look like I could be listening to swing music ever in my life?
Do I?
Yes, maybe with your pirate shirt. All right, this is Realm of Spirits 2. Blossom of the North Star.
Hello, my name is Sylvester Edwards, creator and writer of Realm of Spirits, Blossom of the North Star. Blossom of the North Star starts on the second day of an 8-day prophecy. Shemaiah, daughter of Archangel Gabriel, is to be born to an oracle who can walk within the spirit world. But before Shemaiah is born, you will see her as an angelic little girl who will be saving the souls of her people from a soul-eating succubus. You can help us by pledging for a comic book and supporting us on social media and to your friends and family. If they're interested in fantasy, mysticism, and horror, then it's the book for them. And also, please enjoy the trailer. I worked really hard on it just for you. Thank you.
All right, so we still play some music and show some art. Give us your opinion of it while we're playing the art.
I mean, my issue, I like that he was talking about it, and the little bit that I've seen, I'm really excited about. It, again, has that spirit or that fantasy look as well as very historical. I just wish that when you're doing videos like this, it's hard just to stare at someone. It would have been nice to have art go over top of him while he talked and kind of come back and forth. Because I feel like if you just see someone talk, it's too easy to kind of just fast forward past them. But so that's just bitching about the video.
Well,
it looks cool.
A quick thing you guys can do, just as a heads up, if you are a creator and you want to stand there, use your arms. I think part of the problem that Chuck's zeroed in on is that he's standing very still and reading a script. That's why you practice your script. And I actually showed people how long it takes me to do a take with certain videos. I did it. It was like late at night, and I was doing it with everyone, and I told everyone I was going to do it. Got like 100 views. It took me 10 takes, and the first time I read it, you can hear how I'm struggling with it. And I wanted people to see that it takes a minute, because people think that I just pick up a script and I go with it. Unless you watch the videos a lot and see me stumble, even when I stumble, I kind of regain myself quickly. But whenever there's something new, I struggle with it. Speaking of new, good segue, Crossways Gate number 3. I've never even seen this. This is brand new, but somehow I think you might have some sort of connection with this.
I seem to have a connection with a lot of stuff. Crossways Gate is from Shane Morrison is actually publishing this, and I'm his editor for Beast King and his upcoming book, Ungodly Champion. And this is Travis Martinez. He's an artist and writer out of the Philippines, I believe. And so I have not read this book or gone into it, but it's got a real demon look to it. And you guys know me, or if you know me, I'm not a manga guy. But if you are into this kind of real manga feel, I think this will be for you guys. Very psychological.
All right, let's go. What's with the Doctor Who music? The Doctor Who, man. I love it. I'm in. I love this video. It's 40 seconds.
Yeah. It's got a real what the hell is it? Silent Hill feel to it.
Well, isn't that a character from Silent Hill that they showed at the end?
It looks like it.
Right? I wonder how he. I'm not touching that one. Yo no say. All right. Gods of Azurn,
probably, yeah.
Creepy cosmic horror comics. First time we're watching this, we might have to mute it and go off if there's music. I don't think so. Gary's usually not a music guy. He usually talks in his videos. I'm watching this. Oh, there we go.
Hi, I'm Gary Scott Beatty, and in 2017, I successfully kickstarted Strange Horror, 3 full-color digital comics. Ever since, you've been asking me when more of my strange stories will be available. I'm now ready to offer you Gods of Azurn 1, 2, and 3, and the New Witches graphic novel. Gods of Azurn collects 9 stories written and drawn by me in 3 full-color digital comics, content previously seen in my webcomic. Plus, be the first to read the new Gods of Azer and Witches graphic novel in its entirety before anyone else, estimated at over 70 pages in full-color PDF. My horror comics aim to be thought-provoking, Lovecraftian, and cosmic, and Gods of Azer continues that trend. If you're already a friend, thank you so much for helping me continue to produce comics. If you're new, thanks for giving Gods of Azer a look. In glorious service to our Azer overlords, this...
All right, that's a minute. You want to see it finished, Chuck? You're the guest.
Yeah, we don't have much left, and yeah, I like what he's saying. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Gary Scott Beatty.
See?
There really wasn't a lot left, actually.
No.
We could have gone without it, Chuck. So, Chuck, first time you saw it, what do you feel?
Not a horror guy. I like it. He already has pedigree, which is important. He stated, you know, like, I've done this before. This is what I do. It's backed by popular demand. You know what I mean? Like, he's already making me feel like, okay, cool. You already have a name of sorts. And so it made me feel like if I backed this, I knew that I was going to get something cool. So if I were a horror fan, that would be something that I would run for. Very,
very cool. Blade is a unique comic book. It's, as you see, you can get that art that's on our screen right now by backing it. 5 blades, as the description goes on to say, 5 samurais are haunted by the nation that they helped form. Check out the oversized first chapter in a 5-issue miniseries. This is the actual Kickstarter that we cannot play. They went with copyrighted music, and we, as Chuck knows, had so much trouble getting our channel back last year at the beginning. At this point last year, we weren't even on our YouTube channel. We didn't get it back until, what was it, July? We got our channel back finally?
Yeah, just before my own Kickstarter came out. I was very excited for that.
Yeah. We've never regained the presence we did on YouTube that we were building, so we're very careful about that. It's not about punishing creators, but it's about respecting copyright law.
Yeah.
No, and it's funny that the other one never triggered, because if anyone triggers us, I instantly pull the video down or I mute it, depending. Because I'll reach out to the creator and go, hey, listen, do you have permission? And we learned this. There was a Johnny, for those who don't know, do you know who Johnny Scotch is? It's been on the news a couple times. Do you remember who Johnny
Scotch is? Yeah, I've heard of it.
All right, so he makes his own music. He copyrighted his music. We fought with YouTube for literally 6 months to get one of the strikes against us removed because Johnny had given us permission from it. But the studio had to somehow check to make sure, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my goodness. So even with permission, I try not. And that was directly from the creator himself of the content and music.
Yeah.
And I love Johnny Scotch. And I remember telling him, is there any release that we could do, you think? We actually talked about it for a minute. And he's like, I honestly don't know, because this has never been an issue before, because he doesn't play his own video on his live video streams, you know?
Yeah.
Facebook's a little better than YouTube. Facebook will just mute you, which makes no sense because I keep seeing all these people go to live concerts and showing me the live concert.
Right?
Does the computer know the difference, maybe? I mean, maybe you could have it know the difference.
I don't know.
Crazy. Speaking of crazy, Weaselmeisters. I think I said it right this time.
I think you might have.
Lost in Space. Make 100. I feel like I'm in a Marvel film now.
The universe is a dangerous place.
Yep. But you find a unicorn.
It's dangerous beings.
Is it me or did Dash look really good? The female Weasel.
I didn't remember her name, but all right. This one looks pretty cool. The art style is not necessarily my thing. It's a little more sketchy than I usually prefer myself. The one thing I will say is it looks good. You know, I think it's a cool one. What I will say is for people out there who want to do their own Kickstarter videos and stuff, watch your video before you put it up, because there was a couple times where I couldn't get all of the phrases that they were saying because they were flying by too fast. You need to make sure that everybody is able to actually read all the words that you put up there.
Yeah, and you can tell that's how someone made that video for them. And not to throw shade on it, but that company makes a couple videos, and they have this pacing problem, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I noticed right away.
And I think the pacing problem is that the algorithm says the shorter the video, the more people watch it.
Well, that's great, but I mean, literally, they could have added
or cut out
10 seconds to that video,
or cut out 10 seconds. There were some scenes you could have cut.
Yeah, there was that one scene where they were just flying down a page, and I'm like, I don't need to see that. Like, yeah. So yeah, I agree. You could have cut it and still had everyone understand what was going on.
Speaking of understanding what's going on, Armor. I don't know if that's ever Armor 1. I keep meaning to ask Marcel this.
It's Armor I.
Armor I. Okay, Armor I 1 through 4 is now available on Kickstarter. This is the new kid in town stumbles upon an alien ship and that's thrust him into the middle of an intergalactic war. I actually really like this series. I'm a big fan of it, and I don't think it gets enough love. It's one of Marcel's original Evolutionine brands. It's simply amazing. Have you had an opportunity to peruse an Armor comic?
I read the first one, yeah.
Wasn't it really good?
You really put me on the spot. Actually, I wasn't a huge fan, I'll be honest.
Well, thank you for being on the show today, Chuck.
I like what they're doing. I like their art. I like all their stuff. At the end of the day, guys, not everything is for everybody. And so it's not a knock against them because I work for them. I like Marcel. I like, what they're doing. This book is just not for me. But as Rob enjoys it, Rob is keeping up with it. So I mean, that's something that he enjoys. So we just have different stylistic enjoyments.
The one thing I do want to correct you is I did work for them before this video. All right, Boston Metaphysical Society, the Spirit of Rebellion. She's Madeline Holly Rising is amazing. And this next chapter will blow your mind. Check it out. Come on, Kickstarter.
Hi, everyone. My name is Madeline Holly Rosen, and I'm the writer-creator of the steampunk supernatural series, Boston Metaphysical Society. Welcome to our Kickstarter to print our brand new standalone book, The Spirit of Rebellion, a Caitlin O'Sullivan story. If you're not familiar with the original series, it's about an ex-Pinkerton detective, a spirit photographer, and a genius scientist who battles supernatural forces in late 1800s Boston. In our new story, Caitlin is thrown out of the house by her mother. She goes to Samuel for help, and he takes her to Philadelphia to the boarding house of an old friend. And there she discovers a ghost, a rebellion, and perhaps her destiny. Now, the story itself is 34 pages long in a 44-page perfect bound book, which means lots of extras for you. And I'm happy to say that Gwen Tavares is back on board doing the art and coloring. And even better, the book will be ready to go to the printer by the end of the campaign. And if you're new to the Boston Metaphysical universe, the original.
What do you think, Chuck? You want more?
As well.
Yeah.
So please take a look at the reward tiers on our Kickstarter homepage and pledge today. And thank you in advance for your support.
Now, for those who don't know, she's now going to be part of Source Point. Source Point
Press.
I want to make sure I didn't get that wrong at first. But Source Point Press now has Boston Metaphysical Society. They're blowing it up. So what do you think? This is your first time viewing it, isn't it?
No, it's not actually. I actually got the last Boston Metaphysical Society book. I enjoyed it a lot, and it made me a little more interested in all their stuff. Steampunk isn't necessarily my thing, but I love her grasp of history and her take on it and all that kind of stuff. And she's a really excellent writer, really has a good way of keeping you excited. And her artists are, you know, she really has a solid art department. So great books, very professional quality. I don't think you can go wrong with this.
Now, I am actually a huge fan of her. I think that she does an amazing job. I think she's an amazing creator. Definitely suggest not only following her, but you can get her, and we'll talk about at the end of the program again, her book about how to successfully fund a campaign. It's on Amazon. So stay to the end of the video, and we'll give you more details on that. All right, so we're going to move on to Conceptual Heist. But before we do Conceptual Heist, I want to give some breaking news. And usually we don't cover mainstream, but just because we've been on so long and I'm just seeing this and I'm a huge Batman fan, I have a Batman tattoo on my body. Good news, bad news. Chuck, what do you want first?
You always have to ask the bad news first and then make it better with the good news. So hurt me and then help me.
All right. Ben Affleck is reportedly done playing Batman.
Where's the bad news?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was going to say it could be good news to some people. But here's the good news. Here's the good news. They're officially making a Batman Beyond movie in development at Warner Brothers. It's going to be animated, which kind of makes me sad because I was kind of hoping they would go with like maybe a John Wayne or a Michael Keaton as an older Batman.
They can do Michael Keaton's voice, man, and then show him off.
If you're gonna do animated, you got to go with Kevin Conroy at that point.
Okay, absolutely. He's done an amazing job of it, but it would be a really nice win to get him on there. That would be really cool to get Michael Keaton on there. Especially since it's a one-shot. We're
going to agree to disagree. Conceptual Heist Volume 1, the sci-fi art caper. Hey, dogs, we're not talking about dog days now. Art caper Essential Edition. Check out the Conceptual Heist.
It's the year 2009. Gemma Heist is about to steal one of the most famous paintings in history from a space station 350 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. Do you want to join the heist?
Hello, I'm JDC, writer and co-creator of Conceptual Heist. For almost 4 years, Mac and Yo and I have been telling Gemma's story in the comic strip Conceptual Heist twice a week. And now that we've come to the end of our first story arc, it's time for us to bring you Gemma's story into the film.
In the year 2090, Gemma Heist is a museum curator.
Now, let me ask you, Chuck, can you hear this? Like, I'm having a lot of trouble with this video.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time picking out his words.
Okay, I thought it was just me because of the sound. I know you're getting piped in the sound directly from the Kickstarter and not my mic or speaker. So I was thinking maybe it was just me, but
no, it's not.
I think there's a volume problem with the video.
An heiress and an absentee VP of a security company. But most importantly, she's an art thief who's about to take crime out of this world.
She may not be Robin Hood, but she's getting it.
Yeah, it's going in and out.
Matt and I have come to Kickstarter to help fund the coloring and printing of Conceptual Heist Book 1 and to bring it to a larger audience. We've already had success with 2 previous Kickstarter campaigns. And now we're back.
All right, Chuck. Do you want to watch the rest of it or pass for now?
So I think we're going to pass for now, but don't take that as I don't like it. I feel like I got the gist of what I needed to, and I want to tell you guys, this is what I was talking about earlier. It was perfect. He had a shot of just his torso. He maybe didn't move around a lot, but he talked about it, and then he jumped between himself and the art and showed off the other people involved and whatnot. So I think this is a really good video. This really hits all the points that you need from a good Kickstarter video.
You can hear that Jax has joined us.
Cam, what's up, Jax, man?
He's actually excited. I do have to show this part. I thought it was really clever. Check this out. It'll make you giggle. Come on. I hate waiting for the hitting it.
Right?
So I don't mind when the trailers. I don't even know if it's playing. Is it playing? Is it not playing?
I'm not seeing anything.
Come on. There we go.
And Gemma Heist is about to steal one of the most famous paintings in all of history. The year is 2090, and Gemma Heist is about to steal one of the most famous paintings in history. It is the year 2090, and Gemma Heiss is about to steal one of the most famous paintings in history. Why am I doing that?
The year is 2090, and Gemma, how do you breathe in this thing?
I thought that was pretty cool. Don't we know this dude coming up?
We do know at least one of them.
That's right. We know Frank Martin presents Hollow Testament, a supernatural noir crossover comic book. How do we know him? Well, he's part of the Avocator Winter Edition, and he is a featured story. Apparently, Jax is real excited about Frank Martin.
Yeah.
So he is the man behind Modern Testament. Jax is doing this just to be. He's like dancing in the background, like I'm filming him. I don't have the heart to tell him the camera's not on him. So I'm going to put myself on mute for a minute, but I'm going to let you guys watch the video without me and Jax interfering, all right? Here we go. This is Hollow Testament.
Hi, I'm Frank Martin, creator of Modern Testament.
And I'm Luke Cooper, creator of Hollow Girl.
On the surface, both of our comics couldn't be further apart.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That's right, Jax.
Yeah, even Jax was like, uh-oh, what happened? He's actually sitting on my lap. He got real into it, too. He's like, so much of the director's cut. There we go.
The spirits, which makes her perfect to go up against.
All right, that like jumped.
Gritty, super.
Come on, what's up with Kickstarter today? Come on, Kickstarter. It's like the second glitchy video of the day.
Hi, I'm Frank Martin, creator of Modern Testament.
And I'm Luke Cooper, creator of Hollow Girl.
On the surface, both of our comics couldn't be further apart. One is an anthology that follows ancient beings in modern times, and the other is a gritty, supernatural action thriller about one girl's quest for revenge.
But they're actually more alike than you might think. Hollow Girl at its core is driven by deep biblical themes like vengeance and restless spirits, which makes her perfect to go up against a cast of mythological creations.
Following the same format as Modern Testament, Hollow Testament contains 3 standalone short stories, pitting Hollow Girl against a different biblical being in each one.
She will have to face off against John the Divine. Sorry.
All right, Chuck, your call. Play it all?
No, I think I'm good. It's first off, it's glitchy. It's perfectly good video. I like it, but it's a little too glitchy right now. And I think we got the idea of it. It's Hollow Girl and Modern Testament put together. If you're a fan of either of those, it's definitely worth checking out. And you know what? Just the idea that they were able to come together and make that happen is super cool. So it's worth looking into.
Yeah, don't you love the covers like the Avocator?
Exactly.
Speaking of awesome, Geek Girl Returns is back. The original Geek Girl is back in this extra-sized issue. And he'll be a guest on a show on Friday.
Oh, badass.
Talk with him, yeah. We're still trying to figure out the exact time yet. Because Jax has been sick, I didn't want to pull the trigger at the time.
Well, and he's like 6 or 7 hours ahead, so.
I think he said he's 5 hours for me. I don't know what part of the season, but he's just 5 hours ahead. Which is still enough.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Badass. I love Geek Girl.
I haven't gotten into Geek Girl yet, but I've only heard good things.
It's amazing, dude. I mean, it just totally makes sense. She picks on the culture, but does it in a respectful way. Like, this is even one of those books that survived the Me Too movement without any gruff. And you know that's very hard for any book about a female character. You know, the fact that the female character is like the popular pretty girl, of course she'd probably dress like a sexy superhero. And then when a friend takes over, apparently that video is going to end at 1:14. Oh, that's right. There's something wrong with this video. I told Sam about this. He's on Indiegogo, and something's up with YouTube or Indiegogo. It left like 30 seconds of blank video.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird. There was some trouble with the actual. I wonder if it got fixed. So he was. I was telling him I backed the project. I wound up backing it twice because I thought my backing didn't go through, and it said he had 0 backers, but I knew I backed it, so something was okay. It looks like it's finally starting to fix. Yeah, he's got 17 now, but for a while it was hard to actually back the project. So something's up with today. The world's glitchy today.
He had $17?
Yeah, it's not like him. There was something wrong with it. That's what I think's happening.
Wow.
Is that there was an issue with it. So this is Chaotic Flux, issue number 1, Aliens versus Monsters, a ragtag team, a dying Earth, a plague of mutant abomination, and genocidal dark entity. First thoughts, Chuck.
Dude, art's solid. Looks pretty. Looks really good. Looks like they're taking it seriously. Really good art and whatnot. Again, where's the personal touch? That's the one thing it's missing in my mind.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of at least putting your voice. I don't think there's one campaign I've personally been part of where I was in control of at least some aspect of it that I didn't have the video saying something.
Yeah, I just think I mean, it's such an important thing. Indiegogo, Kickstarter. If you're just using it, like if you're strictly just using it just to pre-sell books, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, I understand that people do that, and I'm not going to get into that political aspect of it, but it will mean more to me as a fan if I understood why this money is important to you, why you need this, why this project is important, why you have to tell this story. And I believe that that would take me so much further and really get me invested in it. And because the problem is, it's like, oh, I have a really good story. Good for you. So does every fucking Kickstarter that we watched tonight. So what sets you apart? Well, what sets a lot of these other people apart is that they're talking to me and they're telling me why it's important. They're not just showing me. They're doing both things. And I think when you do that, you hit all the right locks, and that unlocks the wallet.
All right. I'll give you a chance to talk about your Kickstarter that you're currently on in just a second, but we promised we'd go over the chat room, so I just want to make sure. We had 96 comments today. Jesus.
Yep. Well, I mean, we've been at this. Dude, we've been at this for over 2 hours.
I know. I took over your video, and now I'm upset that I did because I had Kickstarter talk on the back end of it. I'm tired now.
Dude, I hear you. I'm sick, too.
So am I, and I have to still do the Larry Higgins show tonight.
All right, I'll give you a chance to talk
shit.
Kickstarter that you're
Well, let's mute me on here so we can read the. I had to actually open it up in a back thing. So what we're going to do is on this main thing, I'm going to scroll you down to the Kickstarter and Dollar Dream thing. So you guys should be looking at that. We'll run through comments really quickly if I can. It's being real funny with me right now. It's doing a little bit of that out of order thing.
down the Kickstarter and Dollar Dream things. You guys should be looking at that.
I'm telling you,
we'll run through
glitchy today with the internet.
Comments really quickly if I can. It's
AI is rising
right now. Still a little bit of that.
I'm hearing everything like twice over.
Down the Kickstarter and Dollar Dream.
All right, there we go. That maybe took care of it. Yeah, there we go.
Sounds
All
like
right. So Max says, Travis, why don't we kick Travis Gibb off? He said, you son of a bitch. I'm sure I'll pay for that later. Wendy says, I'm an experienced pro in pro.
Yeah, she was talking to Max. Max was asking.
Bonfire Press, and yeah, because he said, hey, Wendy, is your prose or comics or novel? And that's yours, right?
Yeah, Bonfire Press is my publication wing. We're going to be doing an anthology. We don't have any kind of because I already have another anthology that I'm running right now. I don't have any real push on that one right now. I'm just kind of collecting stuff from the future. I have some other people who are a part of Bonfire, and they're going to be putting their stories in there. So we're just kind of gathering that up quietly, not something necessarily that I want just anybody to be jumping in on. No offense to other people.
Well, that sounds good. Joseph Duas says the unicorn is surly and great endorsement, Chuck. Now, of course, you said true story, my dude.
Yeah.
Bless the Children is intellectually important, done in content and style. It was amazing, says Wendy.
Yep, she's right.
Let's see. Cross haters. And Joseph had to go, but he said he'd catch us later. And I think there are a couple of comments missing. I apologize if your comments weren't read off. The thing did a weird shuffle like it often does. But Travis and Chuck and me brought together and created the Avocator. I think that we should play the video. What do you think, Chuck?
Yes.
So here is, you know what video we'll play? Don't we have the Welcome to the Void video loaded in here?
If we do, go for it.
Oh man, that's a shame. I don't think I uploaded. Not in here. It's on.
But can we show that cover? Yeah. Every chance I can get. Dude, guys, look at that. That's just a beautiful. Imagine that being able to get and yeah, this is me shilling. I don't give a shit. Imagine getting a fucking version, a virgin cover version of that. I want that bad. That's bloody beautiful. The work that Anthony D and Kyron Silva did on that is beautiful. I can't thank them enough. They've really brought so much love to that piece, and it speaks to the overall mythology, the depth, and also to what that story means to the overall overarching tale that is Welcome to the Void. They hit every level on it.
And just so everyone knows, this inspired us to actually do the Virgin cover, because when I told Travis, I was like, I flat out do not want to put any anything on it. I was like, I think it'd ruin it. It's
I agree.
Beautiful. It's too beautiful to put any logos on it. I was like, if I'm going to do it, we're going to have to shrink the picture down. I'm going to picture frame it. I'm not putting anything on that art. The art's too beautiful.
I agree.
And I like the hidden signatures within it. That's so cool.
Yeah, right. No, they did. Yeah, it's all so good. It's all so awesome. Seriously, I'm really proud of being able to have those guys have my back and do such an amazing piece.
Yeah, man. Very awesome. We're going to watch the video.
Yeah.
We'll take it out of here. Chuck, if you want to go, I can end the show without you. There's not much more to talk about. We're just going to wrap it up.
You know what, dude? No, you're sick. I'm sick. I got your back all the way. Let's do this.
All right, cool. So here's our, let me see, which video? That one's pretty informative. But what other video do we have? We have because we've talked about, we haven't really talked about today, Binary Star.
Okay.
Let's see if we have the Binary Star video. We do. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. It's 39 seconds. We'll play this, and then we'll play another one.
Bam.
Here we go. This week's featured story. The mismatched interstellar heroes of Binary Star drop in on a wild party on a black market planet. But while they're building giant tequila ice luges and getting into territorial bar fights with dogs, a psychopathic seductress secretly stalks them from the shadows. By Jamie Primack. Also featured on this Kickstarter is Mary Revised, Grimwood Crossing, not broke down yet, The Void, 0.5, and Modern Testament. Then we're going to go up and we're going to look at our main. This week's featured. We were going to refilm one, but instead we had this giant show for you guys.
Gator presents this week's featured story, Grimwood Crossings. Grimwood Crossings follows monster hunters in the Wild West. In this short story, they hunt down the ghost of a witch that has been haunting
The Trail into the Town. Also featured in the Winter Advocator is Welcome to the Void .5, not broke down yet, Mary Revised, Modern Testament's new reimagined take on Noah and his Ark, Grimwood's Crossing Short, which we just mentioned, and Binary Stars Intergalactic Bar Fight. We appreciate you guys supporting us and want you to know what The Advocator is all about. The Advocator Presents is a collection of short stories from indie creators who have their own pre-established franchises, now offering continued short stories of the characters that you have fallen in love with and may even get some insight into these characters. So some of our creators featured in this following that you're already a fan of, you get a new short story that you have never seen before. The Advocator Presents is a new way to advocate for creators and their creations by allowing and challenging them to create new stories within their worlds and then advocate for each other on the Comic-Con highway. A great benefit of this project is that all creators are all equal in this project, and all creators will get an even share of the printed books. No one creator shall profit over the other creators outside the hustle of sales at their tables on the Comic-Con highway.
All right. We'll just do the cleanup of our now on Kickstarter thing. And, of course, you guys are welcome to oh, great. We're gone so long to reload it. Here we go. $1 can make dreams come true. We're accepting $1 pledges. We want it. We're even rewarding $1 pledges. I've never heard of a Kickstarter that gives you something for $1. Have you, Chuck?
No.
So you get a 4-page story and a preview of every other story for just $1. So that's pretty awesome. That's because we wanted every backer we could get. We're almost at 150, 144 amazing people have backed our project. Why don't you join in and help us get to 160? That's my goal right now. 160, I think we can land at. We got over 24 hours to go. We just have, I think, about 25 and about, 26 hours, actually. 26 hours to go still. Super excited about that. Nervous that we're getting down there, but we're at $2,330. We've raised up today just alone $200 to over almost $300 already, believe it or not.
Well, and that means all we need is $370, which is very doable. I'm honestly, I was a little worried yesterday, but with this jump, I'm feeling a lot more confident. And like I said yesterday, you and I were talking about it. Kickstarter says if you break 80%, there's like a 95% chance that you will fund. There's only a 5% chance that you'll fail after you've hit 80, which we're above. We're like 84%.
I think we're actually 85 possible. Let's look at the video on the page because we just 86%.
Great.
Yep, we're at 14%. Be part of that 14%. All right, and finally we'll end with Madeline Holland Rosen. She said Rosen, right?
I think it's Rosing, but yeah.
Rosing, right? I think I've been saying Rosing. So Rosing. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. No one ever corrected me, and that's because I'm big and scary. Kickstarter for the Independent Creator is not scary. It's available for you on Amazon. It's the second edition of Practical and Informative Guide to Crowdfunding. It is having successfully funded 4 Kickstarters of our own comic book, Boston Metaphysical Society, which is now at number 5. We're going to have to update and put 5 of our own Boston Metaphysical Society. Writer, creator, Holly Rosen shares her very specific practical strategies for running a successful crowdfunding campaign with a goal of under 10K in this second expanded edition. Chuck, I'm going to let you take us out for the evening. We're going to call you up on the screen. You get to, I guess, you make the final plea there. Do you want your image of you just Chuck instead of your live video?
I think that's terrific. I love that image.
I know. You said that yesterday. So take us home, my man. Take us home.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching us on the Kickstarter. This is my dude, Rob Anderson. As always, I am your man, Chuck. Just Chuck. That's it. And thank you for checking out all these Kickstarters. Remember, all it takes is $1, but if you pledge more, you will get all and more than what you could possibly imagine. Thank you for all of us here at Indie Advocates. Peace, love, and comics.
This has been a production of the Written Sins Network.